What is the best Minecraft version? Well, we're going to find out. Starting with version 1.0, this was basically the start of it all. This introduced the end, enchanting, potions, and even breeding. This was literally the complete version of Minecraft. You could literally beat the game. And this was also when I started playing Pocket Edition on my old iPad. So, no wonder I'm putting this into S tier. Next update is version 1.1, and this introduced spawn eggs, but this also introduced super flat worlds and even beaches. This was mainly an update to creative mode. It wasn't that bad. It didn't really affect me in any way. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in C tier. Thirdly, we have version 1.2. This basically introduced jungles, iron golems, ocelots, and even redstone lamps. Now, this was the start of something huge because, this was basically a way to get wood extremely fast. And then also you had iron golems to get iron, basically making the completion of the game faster than ever. And then with that, I'm going to go ahead and put this into B tier. Next is version 1.3, and this was by far one of my favorite updates because it included things such as villager trading, desert temples, emeralds, ender chests, and just so much more to help our quality of life. And therefore, I'm gonna put this into B tier. Version 1.4 was called the Pretty Scary Update, and it included the second boss called the Wither. And then this even included things such as command blocks, anvils, beacons, or just even other types of food and items. Now, this was a pretty good update, especially because it included more than just defeating the Ender Dragon. And so I'm going to go ahead and put this into B tier. Version 1.5 was called the Redstone Update, and this included things such as the Hopper, block of redstone, daylight sensor, redstone comparator, trap chests, and even nether quartz. I really didn't have a problem with this update, so I'm just also going to put this into C tier. 1.6 also introduced horses, but it also brought stuff such as leads, coal blocks, and even carpets. I personally don't have a problem with this update, especially because it made travel so much easier, and so I'm just going to go ahead and put this into C tier. So this brings us into 1.7, where this is a crazy update because it introduces 11 new biomes, a new world generator, and even stained glass. Now, this was a crazy update because it introduced so much to the game, so much new blocks, and just so much that I would want to put this into S tier. 1.8, the version known for carrying Hypixel. This update introduces ocean monuments, slime blocks, granite, andesite, and even diorite. It also introduces rabbits and, oh my god, endermites. This update was so fantastic. It didn't really bring anything largely revolutionary to the table compared to 1.7, so I think it's fine going into A tier. For 1.9, people had to wait almost an entire year for this update, but oh boy was it worth it. This brought end cities, elytras, an entire new combat system, outer end islands so then you can actually travel in the end, shulkers which were not entirely useful yet, and then shields. Sure, this doesn't sound like a lot for something that took an entire year, but this was going to be the start of something huge for Microsoft, the new owners of Minecraft. And so therefore, I'm also gonna put this into S tier. Now, I may get hated on for this, but I did not really like 1.10. 1.10 brought us polar bears, magma blocks, strays, and also husks. This was known as the Frostburn update, and I did not like this, especially because sure, it seemed like a good idea on paper, but all it did was just sort of ruin the player experience, especially if you're just trying to mine, but then the magma blocks just sort of ruin it all for you. Therefore, I'm going to put this into F tier. Now, 1.11 was actually pretty good. It brought use to shulker boxes, it brought us totems, it brought us woodland mansions, and even brought us llamas. Now, this update was not bad at all, so I'm just gonna put this into B tier. 1.12 was also pretty cool. It brought us colored concrete, glazed terracotta, and even parrots. And then it also gave us improved wool colors and even ability to dye beds. This made it a pretty cool update, so I'm also gonna put it into B tier. Oh my god, 1.13, the aquatic update. This brought us kelp, seagrass, fish mobs, which include dolphins, turtles, and it even gave us tridents, coral reefs, submerged caves, swimming, shipwrecks, treasure maps, icebergs, and just so much more. This was definitely a heavy packed update. I freaking loved it. We're putting it into A tier. Now, 1.14 sort of carries this by giving us a whole village overhaul, pillagers, raids, an easier way to get totems, updated textures, boxes, pandas, and even bamboo forests to make it easier to get bamboo. This update was pretty good. I'm gonna give it a B tier. Now, 1.15 doesn't really bring too much. I mean, it brings bees, aka the cutest creatures in the world. It also brings us beehives, bee nests, honey bottles, honey blocks, and just anything honey related. I'd probably give it a C tier. And now, 1.16 was sort of mixed for me, but I would say it's overall good. I mean, you all know the update. I mean, it brought us netherite, piglins, like pretty much an entire revamp of the nether, and it just sort of changed Minecraft as we know it. Now, I don't really know what to think about that. I mean, I like the OG Minecraft, but I'd say 1.16 is pretty good. I'm gonna give it a B tier. I just didn't think it would change the game this much. Now, I also know I'm gonna be hated for this, but 1.17, in my opinion, wasn't too good. It brought us various cave plants, axolotls, glow squids, goats, copper, amethyst, raw ore, candles, and even more pieces of stone. Now, honestly, this changed the game so hard, because why on earth would you mine for iron and get raw iron instead of getting iron ore, which should not have been changed? I don't get it. I like the original. I'm sorry. I'm gonna put it into D tier. Second to last is the Caves and Cliffs update part 2, 1.18. I freaking love this update because it created such beautiful works with its world generation, and oh my god, it's fantastic. What this update had was it made a complete overhaul in world generation, added huge and complex cave systems, and much more varied and extreme terrain generation, and it radically changed ore distribution. And now, honestly, I freaking love this update. I'm going to give it an A tier. Now, last but not least is the dreaded 1.19 update. And now, this released the Warden, Ancient Cities, the Deep Dark, Skulk Boxes. You already know. Now, my opinion is it doesn't feel like Minecraft. I mean, it's fine as an update, it's just not for me. I just like the OG Minecraft with the road exploration. This is not for me. I just like the OG Minecraft. I don't like this horror aspect added to it. Although the risk and reward is extremely high, it's just not for me. I'm gonna give it a low C tier. Now, before I end this video, I just want to say that this is all subjective. This is all my opinion. Before you go off into the comments and just absolutely ridicule me, this was all subjective. So yeah, anyways, if you guys enjoyed, I'll see you guys in the next one as per usual. Peace.